Hey, it's Jenny, and I have an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook layout to share with you today. I'm using the Cocoa Daisy Koi Pond collection for this pool layout. You can see I used my pencil to create like a wave-like edge to this paper. It was really just super quick, hand drawn, and it's killing me to use the B side of this stripe paper because I love it. But this blue was perfect to mimic a wave in the pool, so I'm doing it anyway. It does not have to be perfect, the wave. It's really not the focal point of the layout. So yeah, I'm trimming the excess off with my paper trimmer. And you can see right there, it's not perfect and it's not meant to be. I printed 4 photos on one 4x6 using the Pick Frame app, and I printed it on my Canon selfie printer. And now I've just cut it apart. I'm going to use those other 2 photos in a future layout, and I'm going to take these 2 photos. They end up being about 2x3, and I'm going to mount them on white cardstock. It's not a perfect 2x3 because these are digital prints and those are not a true 4x6. So it's, roundabout there, and I'm cool with that. All right, so this is about where the photos will end up going, and I'm sort of erasing like little leftover bits of the pencil that I had drawn on there. And then I'm sort of trying to, I'm actually not sort of, I'm really actually getting the space for where I think I might want the photos. I'm not going to adhere them yet. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to find an ink that matches the patterned paper. I think that I want to stick with light blue. I really want this to have a blue feel since it is the pool on a bright sunny day. I'm going to use the general store alphas. I absolutely love them. The size, everything is perfect. I'll link them below. I foresee that you'll see a lot of these in the future. I'm using the Distress Oxide. This is, let me see what color that is exactly. Tumbled glass. That's the tumbled glass Distress Oxide. And it's so pretty. Such a clear, lovely blue. However, with Distress Oxide, you don't ever get like a perfect impression. It's just, it's an imperfect ink. And so that was what I wanted for this project because, again, we're talking about a swimming pool layout. So yes, I could absolutely go the crisp and clean route, but you already saw that I added that motion with cutting that wave. So it's already not meant to be crisp and perfect. So these inks work wonderfully. Now I also could have sprayed these with some squirts of water and like given it even more of like a splashed effect. I didn't do that this time. I might in the future, however. And again, we will definitely be seeing more of that because I am doing an entire traveler's notebook of my dog in the pool this summer with this collection. Isn't that fun? Like the fish and the swimming and that kind of thing. So you can see I am just chilling out on the white cardstock. I'm just giving enough room in between the alphas so I can cut them out with my scissors. Now you absolutely could use a different alpha that comes with dies and then cut them out real quick, or you could use stickers too. However, I really like the size of these alphas and I also like the font as well. So I'm just going to quickly cut these out with my scissors, not a big deal. It really didn't take very long at all. And again, they don't have to be perfect. When the layout is finished and everything is complete, the last thing you're going to be looking at is, ooh, did I trim these perfectly? So I don't worry about it. But I try to do a good job, just not crazy perfect or anything like that. And luckily, the font of this alpha makes it very, very simple to cut these out. So I'm just trimming around the outside, and the ink is basically dry, so I'm not transferring any to my fingers or anything like that. Now this color is so fun because it not only coordinates beautifully with the patterned paper, but it definitely coordinates with the water as well. Now notice I said the word coordinate, I didn't say match. It's not exactly the same color, and it's not meant to be. At least for me, it's not meant to be. For you, you might want it to be super close. I just wanted it to all feel like waves in the pool when somebody jumps in, right? So there's darker parts, there's lighter parts, there's, the true color of the pool water, the whole thing. So that's what I was personally looking for in this layout. So we have a variety of the light blues between the photos and the paper and the ink. and they all just come together really beautifully. Now I want to take the trimmed alphas and I want them to mimic the wave. You see that? So again, it's not perfect and it was never meant to be. It was just meant to mimic that overall feeling of floating in the pool on a raft. And so then I'll use the clear Tombow glue. I will link it up below. I love it, and I talk about this a lot actually. What I like about it is that you just need a little bit and it dries nice, doesn't warp the paper. And then also if you do happen to put like a little tiny bit too much and it squishes out, it's clear so you don't see it. I don't actually have that problem, and I'm not crazy detail oriented. If you've been here a minute, you know that I'm not really super detail oriented, and so it really has not been a problem for me at all, and I love the glue. All right, so I'm going to adhere the photo down. I want it to be right there, right up at the top, and I want to do that because I want it to A, sort of touch, B, I want it to all go together, and C, I want to create like a frame sort of between the alphas and then some embellishments that I'm going to add. Now, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to use. I, of course, will use some die cuts, and I'm thinking I'm going to use those puffy fish because they're not something I would ordinarily use, but I have them. And like swimming, swim like a fish, you know, like that type of thing. So I feel like it goes really well. I want to do a mix of not only the die cuts, but the puffy stickers and then some enamel dots as well to get a variety of textures. So I'm sort of on the left-hand side lining up a variety of sort of if you were picturing like fish swimming in a stream or in a koi pond, haha. And I am going to add the fish, I'm going to add the ripples, I'm going to add the bubbles, and then I'll also add the enamel dots as well for a little bit of extra texture and to mimic the bubbles as well. Pulling the backs of these die cuts off is actually really simple. It's just, a matter of getting your finger in there in between the paper. Look at that, so cute. I'm going to tell you what, I'm not into fish. I'm not into eating fish. I'm not into fishing. Fish are not a normal thing of my life. But these stickers, because they are embossed, they're really cool and super fun to use. I've really been enjoying them a lot, even though I would not say I am a fish person. So again, I'm mixing and matching the textures to just sort of bring out all of them by that and using like those ripples as kind of, not a background because they're not really necessarily going behind things so much. I mean, they are a little bit, but like it just all feels really cohesive and great together in the end. Now I'm also just going to add that little word strip at the bottom to kind of extend that left side over down around the photo. So you get that the photo is mostly framed except for that little bottom section down there. Now I'm going to add one little die cut up at the top and have it sit flush on the edge after I trim the excess off. Super cute. And I love how it really just points your eye down to the bottom of the page where all of the activity is. Isn't that fun? And then we're going to put those enamel dots in. I love it. Like, I just think it's so clever. And I don't mean like I'm so clever. I just mean like the enamel dots, they really perfectly mimic bubbles and all of that for the fish. It's really a lot of fun, that's for sure. All right, so now I still need to add, and we're not completely done yet, but I do need to still add the journaling. So I printed some out on the computer on a piece of scratch sticker paper. It's clear sticker paper. I'm just going to trim it down to size and then add it to the layout, and that's it. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great day.